Welcome back to Unwinding Roads. My name is Teddy, and with all the hype surrounding diesel heaters, if you're anything like me, you're in the market to buy one, but all of a sudden, EcoFlow just came out with this product, which is marketed as portable air conditioner, but it also acts as a heater. So we're gonna take a closer look at the EcoFlow Wave 2. We're gonna compare it to the diesel heater, and I'm just here to give you more information about this unit. So when pulling it out of the box, you're going to have the unit itself, you're going to have the cord, you're going to have the do-it-yourself window vent board, a couple of adapters, and two of these things. You got a small one, you got a big one. This one's gonna be for your air intake. This is gonna be for your air outtake, for the air that goes out. Outtakes, get it? Do you guys remember Gonzo? Right? Alright. So what exactly is the EcoFlow Wave 2? Well, as I mentioned before, it's a portable air conditioner. That's how it's marketed, but it does have a heater as well. As a matter of fact, the heating portion of it is a little bit more efficient than the air conditioning part of it. This is a 5100 BTU air conditioner and a 6100 BTU heater. It weighs 32 pounds without the battery. The battery itself is about 17 pounds, and the battery is an optional add-on. You're gonna need the battery if you're gonna run it off grid. Now the nice thing is it charges fairly quickly. If you plug it into your wall, it's fully charged in about 2.5 hours, and that's gonna give you a runtime of anywhere between 3.5 and 10 hours depending on your settings and your temperature settings and your fan setting. So that's 4 settings. You'd have your normal setting, whatever you want it to be. You have your eco mode, save the battery. You have sleep mode, which keeps the unit a little bit quieter. I think it just keeps the fan noise down by keeping it on a lower setting. You've got your max mode, which is full blast. The eco mode, the most efficient mode, will give you your 10 hours or close to it. Now running it in my house in a normal setting, air conditioning, it runs for 5.5 hours on this battery. Also, you can charge it and run it at the same time by plugging it in. The size of it, very comparable to a diesel heater once the diesel heater is in its Pelican case or whatever case. Size-wise, very similar. And speaking of the diesel heater, I got a chance to check one out and compare the two units just to see the differences. I will say, after seeing the diesel heater, I'm not quite sure that this replaces the diesel heater by any means, but it's definitely another option that's available. Alright, so I'm visiting my friend Josh, and he's got a diesel heater. I don't understand how these things work at all. This is actually the very first time I've ever seen a diesel heater. So I'm really curious to compare the two units and just see what the options are for you guys out there. So Josh is going to explain to me how this thing works.
So it runs off 12 volt. So that's the power cable right there. Wiring's a little messy at the moment. I never finished it. Actual controller for the heater itself. And essentially once you turn it on, you just turn it on in a heating cycle and it starts cranking up.
So where does the airflow come in from?
So airflow comes in right here. So okay. The air that is going into wherever you're pumping it, air comes in here and exits here, and then intake comes through that tube right there, and exhaust out of the machine or out of the heater comes out of there. Okay. So it's totally separated.
So this tells you the temperature of the heat coming out, I'm assuming?
So I believe the sensor's somewhere in here, so it'll tell you where the heat or the temperature of the heat, like right here, not necessarily of wherever the controller is.
Gotcha.
You can bring this in, and it kind of has a temp sensor in it, but it doesn't regulate all that well. So you kind of just set it on a particular setting, like a particular heat that you like, and then go from there.
And then does it turn on and off on its own?
You can set it for on and off if you want to. It was just easier to leave it on all night at a low temperature.
Gotcha, that makes sense.
Diesel, so fuel line's right there, and right now I think it's sitting about there, and it was full when we went up to go camping. So it's like actually pretty fuel efficient.
Right, that'll last like almost a week.
Depending on your usage, possibly, yeah.
So I don't know if you guys can hear the clicking. I can barely hear the clicking. I don't think I would notice that at all out camping. That's about as close as I can get without burning my hand. So I'm gonna say this thing runs way hotter than the EcoFlow for sure. But it might be overkill for a rooftop tent. You wanna know, is this heater or air conditioner going to heat up or air condition your space? And the answer is, I don't really know. You see behind me, I have my pop-up tent trailer, and during the day it is in the sun, and I ran it in my trailer for hours. Windows closed, and it was still way hotter inside the trailer than it was outside the trailer. Here right now, today, it was 31 degrees Celsius outside, and inside it was 39 degrees Celsius. That's a big difference. Here, I'll just show you. So come with me, I'll show you what I mean. I've had this thing running now for hours. And well, this is my current setup to get it to where it's not so bad. You hear some fans going. I have my exhaust fan going, and I have the EcoFlow Wave 2 going. I'm gonna explain my setup real quick. We've got the Wave 2 going over on this side, and it's exhausting out the window right there. Okay, I have that window open and this window open with the exhaust fan going over on the other side here. Now the reason why I did that was because when I had everything closed, including the exhaust fan, everything was closed, and I had the EcoFlow running on the table here, it did not cool this thing off at all. I don't know what's with the tent trailer itself. I don't know if it's the fabric or the material the roof is made out of, but it was super hot in here. The air conditioning unit just was not able to keep up. Once I put it over here on this side and I opened the windows, got the exhaust fan going, it helped tremendously. Now it got all the hot air out, and the EcoFlow was able to bring the temperature down a little bit. It's still currently 31 outside, and in here it's saying it's 31 inside, but with the breeze it does feel a lot cooler. I'm not gonna blame the EcoFlow on this one because the air coming out of it is very cold. I think it's just the tent trailer was in the sun and it just got super hot in here, and this air conditioning unit wasn't able to quite keep up with that. And so, quick update, we are now in the shade and it's cooling down real quick. It's dropped a few degrees in the last 5 minutes already. So I do think in the evening it will keep the trailer cool for nighttime, or if you're parked in a shady spot, I do believe, I haven't tested it, but I do believe that it would keep the trailer cool enough anyway. But if you're parked in an open area in the desert and the sun's beaming on it, I would definitely not rely on this setup to keep you cool in those situations. But that's just my opinion, you do you. So with the heater being able to be a heater and an air conditioner, you get some condensation, and all that goes into like this little thing in the bottom. I don't even know if it's like a cup or tray or whatever it is. And then you can push a button and it'll release all that water. You got a cool little indication up top that tells you how full your water container is. And it also comes with a hose that you can plug in the hose and run out the water. I'm not gonna plug in the hose right now, it's super easy, you just plug it in. But I am gonna push the button to see if any water comes out. I'll show you guys what that looks like. So there's that water logo there, it's empty, so who knows if anything's gonna come out. But by pushing this button here, it should start coming out of here, and there you go. You can hear the little water pump going. Alright, what the hoses are for, I'm going to show you right now, is your air intake and air outlet. So I'm going to use the hockey net as if it was my tent, and I'd show you how you would set this up. I do gotta say that these kind of twist on real nice and easy. It's real nice and easy. So, imagine I'm in my tent. I had the unit running outside. I got the intake here. I got the outtake here. That way it's circulating the air, helping it be more efficient. Now what if I didn't want the unit outside? What if I wanted the unit inside? Well, this is what that looks like. I wouldn't need this piece. I also wouldn't need this piece, but I do need the hose. This is the adapter for the exhaust side. Bingo bango, I'm gonna move this inside. Exhaust out. And that's it. Unit stays inside. All the air is coming in the intake, and just the exhaust is going out. Cold or hot air comes in here, and the exhaust will be the opposite. Cold or hot air heading out. That's how that works. And so will the EcoFlow work for you? I don't know. I can't make up your mind for you. The unit itself is pretty expensive. It's at $15.99, I believe, or $14.99. It's on sale right now, so definitely check it out. We have a link in the description if you do decide to check it out. It does help our channel out a little bit if you decide to purchase one using our link. I think for me, in the tent trailer, it will work as long as we find a shady spot. And for the rooftop tent, I'm sure it'll work just fine. I'm usually in the rooftop tent at night only, and it'll warm me up or keep me cool, depending on the time of year, depending on the season. But that'll do it for this one. Again, it's the EcoFlow Wave 2. Hope you enjoyed this video. If it did help you out, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. And until next time, go away, get lost, and unwind.